Hello, I'm here to talk about summertime rendering because, the anime is coming and it'll probably garner a lot of attention at first, but it'll probably lose people partway through, which I'll get into later. Now, this is definitely a series I think would be good to go in completely blind, because there's a lot of mystery and strange happenings that lose their impact with prior knowledge. I won't say any big spoilers, but I will talk a bit more about what this mystery is, so if you want to avoid that, that's your warning. First thing I really want to mention though is that the manga is complete. It actually ended at the start of last year, 2021, and the anime is 25 episodes, so it seems they're going to try to do 2 seasons, or they're going to rush the entire thing. 139 chapters and 2 seasons of 25 episodes, that's not bad. For reference, the first 10 episodes of My Dress-Up Darling covered 33 chapters, and the first 26 episodes of Demon Slayer covered the first 53 chapters. If we get 50 episodes, 2.8 chapters an episode is a pretty good pace comparatively. I would hope it takes its time because there's a lot that goes on in the story. We follow Shinpei, a student living in Tokyo, returning back to his small island home because his childhood friend Ushio has died and he has to go to her funeral. A bit of background on this island: it's a small place, they speak using a specific dialect, and everyone knows each other. They even have their own religion. Everyone knew Shinpei as a kid, and everyone knew Ushio and how she drowned saving one of the little girls on the island. It's a sad time, and practically the entire island's population is at this funeral. But the funeral is kinda sus. It happened the day after her death. How could it possibly happen that fast? Not only that, but a day after the funeral, one of the families that was at the funeral has mysteriously vanished. And that's when things start to get weird. On this island, there's a story to scare children, their version of the boogeyman, but they call it Shadow's disease. The story goes that if you misbehave, one day you will see a clone of yourself, and after you see it, you are killed and the shadow, the clone, replaces you. You have the disease if you've seen your shadow, because that means you're going to die. Ushio's sister, Mio, tells Shinpei that it just so happens that 3 days before she died, they saw her shadow on the beach. Of course that just can't be real. Who would believe a story to scare children? Well, we soon find out that it is in fact reality when we see more shadows. They're creepy, they're twisted, and their goals are slowly uncovered. It's up to Shinpei to stop them from murdering the entire town, but he doesn't know who's a shadow and who isn't. Hard to trust someone like that. Not to mention, if you aren't a shadow, you're really not likely to believe that they're real. It's a story that's been passed around for many, many years, which means they've existed for just as long, so how could nobody know they're actually real? Well, let's get our tin hats because it's conspiracy time. The shadows would have needed help to remain a secret for that long. The mystery and horror only last until about halfway through. It's like Resident Evil 1 to 3, and then Resident Evil 4 is an action game. After you find out most of the secrets and answers, it's time to take action. It's still creepy at times, and there's still some lingering questions, but the entire tone of the series changes, and I feel like that'll lose some people. None of this would be fair if Shinpei didn't have a special ability of his own. Now, it does get shown early on, but I'll leave it as a surprise. He needs any advantage he can get, especially given that shadows are just superior to people in every way. Shinpei himself is quite mentally strong. He goes through a lot and he becomes more useful as the series goes on. He's very serious opposed to Ushio's energetic, free-spirited nature. And no, that was not a mistake. Ushio has a lot to say for a dead person, through flashbacks and the like. Overall, I enjoyed the series as a whole, but the ending wasn't the strongest. It was fine though. The story it builds up is quite interesting and gets crazier as it goes along, to the point where near the end, it can actually be pretty confusing. There is a lot of time travel bullshit, and I did have to go back a few times and be like, wait, what? I have hope that it can be done well after Komi-san went well, so there's that. It could be a really cool anime since it's working off of a finished source. I think a good adaptation could potentially make this a very good watch.